London, where empire's tales unfold, ancient meets now. Show the River Thames flowing past landmarks like Big Ben, Tower Bridge, and the London Eye. Capture royal elegance at Buckingham Palace, cultural depth at the British Museum, and the creative pulse of Camden and Shoreditch. Blend grandeur with grit, showing how London defines the heart and rhythm of the United Kingdom. What if a single city could tell the story of an entire empire? What if every street corner, every bridge, every skyline carried the echoes of centuries of kings and revolutions, of poets and dreamers, of wars fought and peace restored? That city exists, and it's called London. A city that never truly sleeps, yet never forgets to dream. A place where history and modernity collide in a breathtaking symphony of light, sound, and spirit. London isn't just a capital, it's an experience. As the morning mist rises over the River Thames, you see the reflections of time itself shimmering on the water. The bells of Big Ben strike with an almost sacred rhythm, as if reminding the city and the world that this is where moments become history. From the grandeur of Buckingham Palace to the timeless beauty of Westminster Abbey, London wears its past with pride. Each building tells a story. Each monument marks a turning point in the saga of humanity. But beyond the postcard perfection, London is alive with contrast. Ancient cobblestone streets lead to futuristic skyscrapers. The old world whispers through the shadows of the Tower of London, while the neon pulse of Piccadilly Circus shouts of the new. It's a city of dualities, formal yet free-spirited, regal yet rebellious. You can sip afternoon tea in Mayfair, and then chase street art through the alleys of Shoreditch within the same afternoon. It's this beautiful contradiction that makes London not just a city to visit, but a world to feel. Take a walk along the South Bank, and you'll sense the rhythm of the city beating around you. The London Eye spins gracefully over the skyline, capturing views that stretch from St. Paul's Cathedral to the Shard. Street performers fill the air with music, laughter, and the magic of spontaneity. Just across the river stands the mighty Tower Bridge, an icon that has stood tall since the late 19th century, connecting not just two sides of a river, but two eras of human ambition. And then there's the pulse of culture. The British Museum holds treasures that span civilizations: mummies from Egypt, marbles from Greece, relics from ages long gone. In the West End, the theaters blaze with life as actors pour their hearts onto the stage. Every night, audiences are swept away by stories that bridge fantasy and reality. And in Covent Garden, the air buzzes with creativity: musicians, painters, and dreamers turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. But London isn't only about grandeur, it's about moments. It's a quiet morning in Hyde Park, where swans glide across the serpentine lake as the city slowly wakes. It's standing under the gray drizzle, sharing an umbrella with a stranger, feeling somehow connected to millions who've done the same for centuries. It's the sound of the underground rushing beneath your feet, the chatter of languages from every corner of the world, the sense that no matter who you are or where you come from, London has room for you. In the narrow lanes of Notting Hill, pastel-colored houses stand side by side, like strokes of joy on a painter's canvas. In Camden, rebellion thrives in its purest form. Markets bursting with color, aroma, and the unfiltered energy of youth. In the heart of Soho, life dances to a rhythm that never fades. And in Greenwich, you can stand on the Prime Meridian line, the very place where time begins, and realize that this city is, quite literally, the center of it all. As night falls, London transforms. The Thames glows with reflections of golden lights. Double-decker buses move like red ribbons through the streets, and the skyline becomes a living work of art. From the top of the Shard, you see a sea of glittering lights stretching endlessly. A reminder that London is not just made of stone and steel, but of stories and souls. Each light represents a dream, a journey, a heartbeat. What makes London truly magical isn't just its landmarks or its history. It's the way it makes you feel. It's the sense of being part of something timeless, a city that has endured plagues, fires, and wars, yet continues to rise, reinvent, and inspire. A city that celebrates both royalty and rebellion, art and innovation, tradition and change. When you leave London, you realize you're taking a piece of it with you, a melody of memories that never fades. Because London doesn't end when your trip does. It lingers in your imagination, calling you back, whispering its eternal promise. That here, in this city of endless wonder, there's always another story waiting to be told. Beyond the city's noise, England whispers in green fields and stone villages lost in time. Lead viewers through the rolling hills of the Cotswolds, the Lake District's shimmering lakes, and the quaint streets of Bath and Oxford. Highlight the poetic landscapes that inspired Shakespeare and Wordsworth. Emphasize the peace, beauty, and heritage that make rural England the beating heart of the nation. Beyond the roar of London streets, beyond the blur of double-decker buses and the shimmer of city lights, lies another England, quieter, greener, timeless. A land of rolling hills, honey-colored cottages, and winding country roads where time itself seems to wander at a slower pace. This is the heart of the English countryside, a world that feels like it's been painted by poets and dreamers for centuries. The kind of beauty that doesn't shout, but softly hums a lullaby of nature, history, and peace. When the morning mist curls over the meadows and the first light touches the dewy grass, you feel it, the soul of England awakening. The countryside is not just a place, it's a feeling. It's the scent of rain on old stone walls, the gentle sound of church bells echoing through distant valleys, and the warmth of a village tea house welcoming travelers with fresh scones and laughter. Here, every hill hides a legend, every village tells a story, and every turn of the road feels like a journey into the past. Let's begin in the Cotswolds, a region that could easily be mistaken for a fairy tale. The villages of Byberry, Bourton-on-the-Water, and Castlecombe are so picturesque they seem unreal. Cobblestone lanes wind past stone cottages draped in ivy, and small streams glisten beneath old stone bridges. The air smells of blooming roses and chimney smoke, and life here moves with a rhythm all its own. You can hear it in the clink of teacups, in the laughter spilling out of cozy pubs, in the quiet rustle of the wind through the fields. The Cotswolds aren't just beautiful, they're an embodiment of serenity itself. Farther north, the Lake District unfurls like a masterpiece of nature and poetry. This is where England's great romantic poets, Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Beatrix Potter, found their inspiration. And when you stand by Lake Windermere or gaze across Derwentwater, you understand why. The lakes mirror the clouds and mountains so perfectly, it's hard to tell where the sky ends and the earth begins. Stone cottages nestle between green hills, and trails wind through forests that seem unchanged for centuries. The Lake District isn't just scenery, it's emotion made visible. It's the kind of beauty that reminds you how small, yet deeply connected, you are to the natural world. Head east, and you'll find the historic charm of Oxford and Cambridge, two cities bound by centuries of wisdom. Their ancient colleges, with ivy-clad walls and echoing courtyards, have shaped some of the greatest minds in human history. But beyond academia, these places radiate a quiet grace. Students hunt along the river, laughter rippling over the water as willows sway gently above. The soft golden light that falls over these towns feels like it's filtered through history itself, a reminder that learning, beauty, and tradition can coexist in perfect harmony. Then, in the southwest, the city of Bath stands as a timeless jewel of Georgian elegance. Built on Roman foundations, its honey-colored architecture glows beneath the setting sun. The ancient Roman baths still whisper tales of emperors and gods, while the grand crescents and streets tell of an age of refinement. Bath is a bridge between eras, a place where the ancient and the elegant walk hand in hand. When twilight arrives and the lights begin to shimmer against the limestone facades, it feels like you've stepped inside a living painting. But the countryside's magic lies not just in its famous landmarks, it's in the quiet, hidden corners. The sheep grazing lazily on distant hillsides, the laughter of children chasing butterflies in meadows, the simple joy of sharing fish and chips by a sleepy seaside village. It's in the farmers' markets bursting with color, in the scent of wildflowers after the rain, in the warmth of strangers greeting you as if you've known them for years. There's something deeply human about this land, something ancient, yet ever new. And then there are the moors. Wide, windswept, and hauntingly beautiful. The Yorkshire moors, the Dartmoor plains, they stretch endlessly under dramatic skies, carrying with them the whispers of history and folklore. You can almost hear the echoes of old tales, the legends of kings and knights, the cries of ghostly lovers lost in the mist. Standing there, surrounded by nothing but wind and silence, you feel the deep pulse of a land that has seen it all and endures still. The English countryside doesn't dazzle you all at once. It unfolds slowly, like a story told by an old friend. Every scene, every village, every landscape reveals another layer of its gentle soul. It's not about grandeur, it's about grace. It's about realizing that the simplest moments, a sunset over rolling hills, the laughter of locals in a tiny pub, the scent of rain on old earth, are the ones that linger forever. As the day fades and the horizon blushes gold, you understand the quiet magic of England. It's a place that doesn't need to change to stay alive. It breathes through its people, its traditions, its landscapes. It speaks softly, yet leaves an echo that stays in your heart long after you've gone. Because the English countryside isn't just seen, it's felt. And once you've felt it, you never quite leave it behind. Where mist wraps around ancient castles and legends breathe through the mountains. Explore Edinburgh's historic charm, the haunting beauty of the Scottish highlands, and the mysterious depths of Loch Ness. Capture the spirit of Scottish pride and resilience, from bagpipes echoing across stone streets to the wild beauty of Glencoe. Showcase Scotland as a land where myth and reality blend seamlessly. There's a moment when you cross the border into Scotland when the world seems to shift. The air feels wilder, the sky stretches farther, and the land rises into a raw, untamed beauty that commands your awe. Scotland doesn't whisper. It roars with legends, wrapped in mist and echoing with the songs of centuries past. It's the kind of place that captures your heart before you even realize it, where every mountain and loch seems to have a soul of its own. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast glen, the wind biting at your cheeks as clouds roll low over the hills. The silence here is powerful. It's not emptiness, but presence. This is Scotland's magic, the way it makes you feel small and infinite at once. The landscapes don't just invite you to look, they demand that you feel. And once you do, you realize you're not just in a country, you're in a story. The highlands are the beating heart of that story. Majestic and wild, they stretch endlessly, painting the horizon with shades of green, gold, and gray. Glencoe, with its haunting beauty, stands as one of Scotland's most breathtaking valleys, a place of tragedy and transcendence. The wind that rushes through its peaks still seems to carry whispers of the clans who once walked these lands, their stories forever woven into the stones and soil. When the sun breaks through the clouds and casts light over the mountains, it's as if heaven itself has opened for a moment. Further north, Loch Ness shimmers like a mirror of myth. For centuries, travelers have come here seeking the creature, said to dwell in its dark depths, the elusive Nessie. But even if the monster remains a mystery, the loch's power is undeniable. Its deep, still waters reflect not just the landscape, but a sense of timeless wonder. Standing on its shores at dusk, you feel something ancient stirring in the quiet, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, so that wonder never dies. Then there's the Isle of Skye, a place that feels more like a dream than a destination. It's wild, unpredictable, and utterly mesmerizing. Jagged cliffs rise above turquoise seas, waterfalls plunge from impossible heights, and the mist dances across the hills like a living spirit. The Old Man of Store stands tall, a rock formation shaped by the elements into a towering monument of nature's artistry. The Quiraying, with its surreal landscapes, looks like it belongs to another planet. And when the sun sets behind the Cuan Mountains, painting the sky in fire and gold, you realize why poets, painters, and travelers have fallen in love with this island for centuries. But Scotland's soul isn't found only in its landscapes. It lives in its people, its castles, and its cities. Edinburgh, the nation's capital, rises dramatically from volcanic rock, crowned by the magnificent Edinburgh Castle. The city feels like a living museum, a blend of medieval alleys, Gothic spires, and Georgian elegance. Wander down the Royal Mile, and every step feels like a journey through time. When night falls, the city glows softly under lantern light, and the sound of bagpipes drifts through the streets, carrying with it the haunting pride of a nation. A few hours to the west lies Glasgow, a city of creativity, grit, and boundless energy. Once an industrial powerhouse, Glasgow has transformed itself into a hub of art, architecture, and culture. Its people are known for their warmth and humor, and its streets buzz with music and conversation. From the grandeur of George Square to the beauty of the River Clyde, Glasgow tells a different story of Scotland, modern, bold, and full of life. And then there are the castles, Scotland's eternal guardians. From the dramatic cliffs of Dunatar Castle to the fairy tale towers of Eilean Donan, each fortress seems to rise straight from legend. These ancient stones have witnessed battles, betrayals, and love stories that shaped history. Some stand in ruins, others are perfectly preserved, but all share one thing. They speak of a time when honor and destiny walked side by side. Scotland's traditions, too, are deeply woven into its identity. The haunting melody of the bagpipes, the swirl of kilts at a Highland dance, the strength of the clan spirit that still endures. It's all part of a proud heritage that refuses to fade. Even the food tells a story. From the simplicity of oatcakes to the boldness of haggis, each bite flavored with history and heart. But perhaps what makes Scotland truly magical is the way it connects you to nature, to history, to yourself. Whether you're standing on a windswept cliff, wandering through an ancient castle, or sharing a dram of whiskey with locals by a crackling fire, you feel it that deep, undeniable sense of belonging. Scotland is more than landscapes and legends. It's emotion carved into mountains, history written in stone, and dreams carried on the wind. It's a place where every sunrise feels like a new beginning, and every sunset feels like a song that never ends. Once you've been here, a part of you never truly leaves. Because Scotland doesn't just capture your eyes, it captures your soul. In a land where every valley carries a melody, and every mountain hides a story, dive into the rugged beauty of Snowdonia, the coastal magic of Pembrokeshire, and the medieval charm of Conwy and Caernarfon. Reveal the proud Welsh culture, its music, castles, and language that keeps ancient traditions alive amid modern times. There's a rhythm to Wales, a pulse that beats beneath its emerald hills and along its rugged coastline. It's a land that feels alive, ancient, and unbroken. The moment you step into Wales, you sense it. The hush of its valleys, the song of the wind over its peaks, the whisper of history echoing through stone fortresses and Celtic ruins. This isn't just a place to see, it's a place to feel. And once it captures your heart, it never lets go. Imagine standing atop Mount Snowdon, the highest peak in Wales, as the dawn light spills across the horizon. The valleys below are wrapped in a silver mist, and the world feels impossibly still. In that moment, you understand why this landscape has inspired poets, warriors, and dreamers for centuries. The mountains of Snowdonia are not just breathtaking, they are sacred. Their jagged silhouettes tell stories of myth and courage, of dragons and kings, of legends that shaped a nation's soul. But Wales is not only about its peaks, it's also about its castles. In fact, this small nation holds more castles per square mile than anywhere else on Earth. They rise proudly from hillsides and riverbanks, guarding the memories of an untamed past. Caernarfon Castle, with its immense stone walls and polygonal towers, stands as one of the most majestic. Built by Edward I in the 13th century, it's a monument to both power and defiance, a symbol of conquest, yet also of resilience. Today, its echoing halls and sweeping views remind visitors of the turbulent centuries that forged Wales into what it is. Further south, Conwy Castle gazes over a medieval town, encircled by perfectly preserved walls. Walking through its battlements feels like stepping back in time. The air smells faintly of sea salt. Gulls cry overhead, and the Conwy River glistens below. Every stone in its towers seems to hum with history. Not far away, Harlech Castle rises from a rocky crag overlooking the Irish Sea, a fortress so perfectly placed it seems carved by nature itself. From its towers, you can watch the tides roll in and out, just as they've done for hundreds of years. Indifferent to time, yet Wales is not only a land of stone, it's also a land of spirit and song. In tiny villages and along narrow winding roads, you'll hear the lilting tones of the Welsh language, one of the oldest living tongues in Europe. It flows like music, rich and poetic, a reminder of a culture that has survived every storm. And that voice carries through the centuries in the form of Welsh choirs, whose harmonies fill ancient chapels and cathedrals with breathtaking emotion. Music here isn't entertainment, it's identity. The coastline of Wales is something out of a dream. The Pembrokeshire coast, with its rugged cliffs, secret coves, and sapphire waters, is one of Britain's greatest treasures. Walk the coastal path, and you'll encounter dramatic sea stacks, wildflowers dancing in the wind, and seals basking lazily on the rocks. At sunset, the sky burns gold and crimson, and the waves shimmer like liquid fire. In places like Barafundle Bay and Rosilly Beach, you can stand in silence, hearing nothing but the ocean's heartbeat. Then there's the cultural heart of Wales, its small towns and people. In Cardiff, the capital, modern life meets deep tradition. The city buzzes with creativity, its streets alive with art, festivals, and music. Cardiff Castle, right in the city center, is a reminder that even amid progress, history is never far away. And beyond the cities, in rural Wales, you'll find warmth that feels timeless. Locals greet you like old friends. Stories flow as easily as laughter, and the connection to land and legend runs deep. Wales is also a land of myths, tales that blur the line between history and magic. The story of King Arthur, for instance, has its roots here. It's said that his sword, Excalibur, was cast into a Welsh lake, and that his spirit still watches over the hills. Legends like these aren't just folklore, they are the heartbeat of Wales, a reminder that this land doesn't just remember history, it lives it. And then there's the food, hearty, simple, and comforting. Welsh cakes warm off the griddle, lamb slow cooked, with leeks, and a steaming bowl of caul on a cold day. Each dish carries the taste of the land and the hands that have tended it for generations. Pair it with a pint of local ale or cider in a cozy pub, and you'll understand what true contentment feels like. But perhaps what makes Wales unforgettable is its soul. There's a quiet pride here, a sense of belonging that doesn't shout, it sings. The landscape may be vast and wild, but it feels personal, as if it's speaking directly to you. You can stand in a ruined castle and feel the courage of those who once defended it, walk through a meadow and sense the poetry that lingers in the air, or watch the waves crash against the cliffs and feel, deep down, that you are part of something far greater. Wales is not a place you simply visit. It's a place that becomes part of you. It's where history and nature intertwine, where every hill holds a secret and every sunset tells a story. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't just dazzle your eyes, it stirs your spirit. And when you finally leave, you carry its song with you, echoing softly in your heart, calling you back again and again. Here, the earth itself seems to tell stories carved in stone. Explore the Giant's Causeway with its surreal basalt columns, the dramatic Causeway coast, and the cinematic landscapes of the Mourne Mountains. Touch on Belfast's history, resilience, and creative rebirth. End the series with an emotional reflection on how the entire United Kingdom, diverse yet united, feels like a living masterpiece shaped by time, tradition, and endless wonder. There's a place where myths are carved into the earth itself, a land of emerald cliffs, ancient stones, and seas that roar like thunder. This is Northern Ireland, a realm where every path seems to lead to a legend, and every landscape feels touched by something greater than time. It's a country of contrasts, wild and untamed, yet soulful and poetic, where history and myth blend so seamlessly that it's hard to know where one ends and the other begins. Northern Ireland doesn't just show you beauty, it makes you feel it in your bones. The first sight of the Giant's Causeway is enough to steal your breath. Picture this: tens of thousands of hexagonal basalt columns rising from the ocean, forming a natural staircase that seems to lead straight into the sea. It looks so deliberate, so impossibly precise, that it's no wonder legend says giants built it. According to Irish mythology, the giant Finn McCool created this pathway to Scotland to face his rival. Today, when you stand among those ancient stones, watching waves crash and spray white foam into the wind, it's easy to imagine those legends coming alive. The air feels charged, the ocean endless, and the sound of each wave tells the same story, one of power, endurance, and wonder. But beyond the causeway, Northern Ireland reveals layers of beauty and meaning that few expect. The Antrim coast, for instance, is one of the most scenic drives in the world, a winding ribbon of road-hugging cliffs that fall into a wild, untamed sea. As you travel, you pass through fishing villages, rolling green fields, and viewpoints so dramatic they make you stop mid-sentence. Carrick, a reed rope bridge, is one of those places, a narrow bridge suspended high above the crashing waves, connecting the mainland to a tiny island. Crossing it is both thrilling and humbling. The wind rushes past, gulls cry overhead, and beneath you, the Atlantic churns in shades of blue and white. For a moment, time stops. You realize that this isn't just a view, it's a feeling, a pulse of life and adventure that runs through every inch of Northern Ireland. Then there's Belfast, a city reborn from its past, thriving with creativity and resilience. Once defined by division, today it's a vibrant capital filled with energy, art, and hope. Murals that once told stories of conflict now speak of peace, identity, and unity. The Titanic Quarter stands as a proud symbol of that transformation, a gleaming waterfront district built where the world's most famous ship was born. Inside the Titanic Belfast Museum, you're taken through the ship's journey from dream to tragedy, an experience that's as haunting as it is awe-inspiring. Outside, the slipways where the Titanic once rested are marked on the ground, silent reminders of human ambition and the price it sometimes carries. Beyond the city lights, the countryside unfolds into a world of serene lakes, ancient castles, and secret forests. Lough Erne in County Fermanagh mirrors the sky so perfectly it feels like you're floating through clouds. Small islands dot its surface, some crowned with monastic ruins that date back over 1,000 years. The stillness there is otherworldly. You can almost hear whispers of monks chanting from the stones. It's a place to breathe deeply, to slow down, and to feel the world move at the rhythm of nature. Further west, the Mourne Mountains rise like a spine across the horizon, soft and blue in the distance, fierce and majestic up close. They inspired C.S. Lewis to imagine Narnia, and when you see them shrouded in mist, you understand why. The valleys here are quiet and green, the air thick with the scent of rain and heather. It's a place for reflection, a landscape that speaks not through noise but through silence. Every step feels sacred, every view infinite. And then there's the dark hedges, a hauntingly beautiful tunnel of beech trees that seem to reach out and touch each other, forming a natural cathedral of branches. This iconic road, made famous by countless films and shows, feels like a portal to another world. When the light filters through the leaves and the mist lingers in the morning air, it's pure magic. There's something about this place that stays with you long after you've left, a reminder that beauty often lives in the quiet, hidden corners of the earth. Northern Ireland's magic also lives in its people, warm, witty, and endlessly proud of their land. Sit in a traditional pub, and you'll quickly be drawn into a conversation with locals who tell stories like poets. They'll share myths of banshees and giants, tales of love and loss, and laughter that fills the room like music. The sound of traditional Irish fiddles, the rhythm of bodhrans, and the murmur of voices create a kind of atmosphere that feels timeless. Here, storytelling isn't just a pastime, it's the heartbeat of the culture. And as the day fades, there's no better place to end your journey than watching the sun set over the Causeway Coast. The sky ignites in shades of amber and rose. The stones glow with golden light, and the ocean stretches endlessly into the horizon. You stand there, the wind on your face, the sound of the waves in your ears, and you realize that this feeling is what travel is all about. It's about connection, wonder, and those rare moments when you feel truly alive. Northern Ireland may be small, but it carries the soul of giants. It's a land that holds its history with pride and its beauty with humility. Every castle, every coastline, every voice seems to whisper the same truth, that magic still exists in this world. You just have to come here to find it. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels and see you in the next video.